Just wrapped up watching Zombie versus Ige, and overall a pretty solid card. Did not get to watch the prelims, but all of the main card was rather good. Let's run it down straight from the top. Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie, gets a win over Dan Ige. Honestly, going into that fifth round, with how the judging been lately, I was kind of scared it was 2-2 going into the fifth, and maybe they'd be crazy enough to give Ige the third as well. I was thinking maybe you can not even make an argument, but maybe one judge would be crazy and give the first and the fourth to Ige, and then also give the fifth to Ige. We've seen crazier after that Rory McDonald Gleason Tebow fight. I could see anything happening. Thankfully, Jung did pick up the decision, unanimous, 48-47, 49-46, 49-46. So we got to look into that 48-47. Like, was it 2-2 going into the fifth for that judge? What was the deal with that? Because I don't know, man. 2-2 going in the fifth doesn't sound that great to me. But the first round did start off relatively competitive, and if you want to give Ige that round, I guess go for it. The second round, Zombie dropped Ige, and Zombie throughout the entire fight showed a lot of great ground control, consistently getting the back and the body lock. So that was really the story of the fight, and Zombie picking up the W over Ige. Ige still looked relatively good. It's not like he got finished early. It's not like anything like that happened, but definitely a good bounce back win for the Zombie. Now, where does Zombie go from here? Now, the Holloway Yair Rodriguez fight fell apart. Rodriguez versus Zombie in the rematch from their fight of the year contender would be pretty cool. Zombie versus Max Holloway would be pretty lit. And how about this? An underrated option. I know it would be Zombie fighting down again, but Zombie versus Edson Barbosa, baby, I'd be all over that too. But a lot of good options for a Korean Zombie. Unfortunately, he did have that loss to Ortega last year, and that was a pretty definitive loss. So if Ortega does win that title, that puts him in a rough position. But, I mean, Zombie's always going to be somebody that everybody enjoys watching, so I don't think it's going to be the biggest deal. I mean, his next fight has to be relatively big. Even if it is him fighting down against somebody like Barboza, Zombie always brings it in. You telling me Zombie versus Barboza is a fight night headliner or a co-main ain't going to get people excited? It's going to get people pretty freaking excited. Outside of that, Sergey Spivak and Alexei Olenek. Olenek unfortunately coming up short in this one, and Spivak didn't look that good. 2-1, and you know, it is what it is. The story with the UFC right now, Olenek is what, 43 years old? I don't know, maybe he's going to get the axe after this one. If they're cutting Alistair Overeem, and I know Alistair Overeem was definitely on a fatter contract than Alexei Olenek, but, you know, it seems like they are trying to cut some of the older fighters. Who knows if Damian Maia is going to get another fight, but it's not even like Sergey Spivak stood out. Would like to see Olenek get one more. I mean, he's been a consistent guy and seems like a really great guy, but, you know, knowing how the UFC does things these days, could see him get the axe. Marlon Vera versus Davy Grant. Man, Chito Vera back on the win column. This was without a doubt the fight of the night, at least on the main card. Chito Vera had some trouble in the first round, and then he started unloading, taking his coach's advice, started unloading in the second and third, and that was all Chito Vera, especially towards the end of the third round. He just completely took over. Great fight here, back and forth fight, and even throughout the whole time, Davy Grant was still definitely in it, so good win for Chito Vera. Will be interesting to see who he fights next. He did call out Dominic Cruz after the W. Seems like Cruz wants to fight somebody higher ranked, since Cruz is probably looking to get relatively fast-tracked into the title shot, and you can make an argument he should be, but Marlon Vera, definitely somebody who can be a player at 135 pounds. Thinking off the top of my head, not sure who he could go for. Maybe a Marlon Moraes, something like that? I don't know. We'll see how things turn out at 135. Sung Hoo Choi took out Julian Erosa. This was a brutal knockout in the first round of a minute 37. Great win for Choi, and he came off super likable in that post-fight interview, so that was a good one as well. Bruno Silva getting a win over Wellington Turman. Vicious ground and pound knocking out this one. This one was just vicious. Bruno Silva making his UFC debut in successful fashion. And the opener to the main card, boy oh boy, Matt Brown at 40 years old, he still got it. Just a one-punch knockout. Right before the knockout, I believe it was Cruz on commentary that was like, Brown isn't throwing as much or something to that effect. Then right after, boom, the Cruz curse. Matt Brown just levels Diego Lima with a vicious knockout. Kind of reminding me of that hell blow on Diego Sanchez that Brown threw a few years ago. Man, when Brown gets a knockout, it is a vicious knockout, and still cool to see him kicking after all these years. Hopefully he's matched up accordingly with his next fight. and good to see him pick up another win. But that is going to wrap up this one. The recap of the main card. Overall, a pretty good show. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see Zombie fight Holloway, Rodriguez, maybe? That Barbosa sleeper I think could be pretty cool. Let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.